Willie D Live.
So, yeah, you don't want to do that. But I'm sure he has a big staff. They say, hey, where's your evidence? I'm sure he has something going on to investigate these people. They just can't be some random person and say, I met Diddy, and they never met him. They're going to have to verify.
But how can you prove it, though? I mean, how do you, like, a lot of people ain't got proof. Man, some of this stuff happens allegedly 20 years ago, 25 years ago. All you got to do is call and say, yo, I was at the party. Somebody who was actually at the party can tell you what happened and tell you what they saw and what happened to them. And you can just put yourself in that position. Also, when people are taking money, when people are paying Tony's clients so that they don't get exposed, how do we know that his client or anybody else's clients are going to not share that information and somebody else pick the information up and run with it?
Wow.
If it come down to, hey man, you give me X amount of money or I'm going to the police. Well, we've seen enough movies to know that people will sometimes go back on their word. Yeah, I know I said 100,000, man, but I think that deal was worth more like $1 million. I'm gonna need another. I see you living pretty good off, lately. It would be nice. I'm going out of town with me and the missus are leaving town for a couple of weeks. It would be nice when I come back home to see one of those, to see a Rolls Royce, that new Rolls Royce sitting in my driveway. That would be nice, don't you think? What's to stop them from sharing the information or coming back and releasing the information?
Well, like you said earlier, they need to be prosecuted if they are bringing meritless claims. But you asked earlier.
But what if I'm saying what? But in this case, what if the case does have merit? What if they're telling the truth and they say, "Pay me, or I'm going to expose you," and they get paid, and then later down the line, I mean, of course, they're going to sign some type of, paperwork saying that they're not going to ever speak about it or whatever they want to.
That doesn't work, but go ahead.
But what if they just decide, you know what, I'm going to say something anyway, or their spouse or a friend.
That's a great question.
Takes the information and decides that they want to contact a lawyer and do the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
if you don't give me some money, I'm going to release this information about you, and I got a video of you and this such and such. And if you don't give me some money, I'm going to put it out.
Well, that's extortion again, right? Because they're not the actual victim. They're just trying to extort. That's what you're just saying, right? But you brought up an excellent point. Well, I'm glad you brought this up. You said if she signed something, said I'm not going to say anything, so that means she can't say anything. That's not true. Specifically in California. Now, check with your own state laws wherever you are, but in California, if you are a victim, an alleged victim of a sex crime, and you settle your case, right? You sue and settle. California says, no, you can't have settlement agreements to where you can actually make someone not say anything about it when it's dealing with sex crimes or discrimination of any kind. So that doesn't work. And I'm so glad you did the video on Diddy's non-disclosure agreements. And you even asked the question. You said, man, can he just make them not say anything for 500 years? If you asked that.
Right.
Well, no. Here's some free game, man. So many celebrities in Hollywood come to me, and I have to get them straight. If you're going to have a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that you can't say anything if you come hang out with me and party with me, right? That is not enforceable. Even if there's no crime being committed, it's not enforceable because non-disclosure agreements are supposed to be contracts, right? A lot of lawyers in Beverly Hills and in Century City, I see this all the time, they charge these celebrities a lot of... You said it, yeah. But those are not enforceable. Let me tell you why it's not enforceable, too, because I don't want to leave people in the dark saying, man, why is it not enforceable? Because I'm sure they're going to be watching, right? Let me tell you. Not to get too legal, so I just keep it very, very simple. You have to have three basic elements to have an enforceable contract, right? And I won't get into the legal parameters, and there are also exceptions too, but for the most part, you have to have three basic elements: offer, acceptance, consideration. Every first-year law student knows that. Now, let me just explain consideration, and this is why they're not enforceable, because I think most people know what an offer is. Hey, Willie, come paint my house for $1,000. That's an offer. And Willie said, yeah, I'll come paint your house. Well, he accepted. The consideration is the problem with these non-disclosure agreements. Let me tell you, consideration is something you have to bargain for exchange, right? It has to be something of value. What you're having with these celebrities is saying that if you come spend time with me or you come party with me, then you can't say anything. Just about every California judge has thrown those out because they lack consideration. That's not going to work. You have to include consideration. So take my example. Willie D, come paint my house for $1,000. And you say, yeah, Geoff, I'll paint your house for $1,000. It's offer acceptance. Well, what I just bargained for, I bargained to get Willie D to paint my house in exchange for me paying him $1,000. Willie D is bargaining for $1,000 in exchange for painting my house. That's an equal bargain for exchange. That's the court's legal language. Bargain for exchange. Having a celebrity just say, hey, you, man, woman, whoever you are, come hang out in my mansion in Beverly Hills and we can party and do it, but you can't talk about it and you got to sign this. Every judge in California has thrown those. They said they lack consideration. So when you go to Diddy's case with his NDAs, it wouldn't work because they lack consideration. I haven't seen them, and I promise you.
What are they considering?
The bargain for exchange. That's what the courts are looking for, right? Now, it doesn't have to be a lot, but it has to be something of value. Anything of value, right? Willie D, come paint my house in exchange for you giving me a record deal because you're a hip-hop legend. That's something of value. NDAs mostly exist in the business setting for employers because employers have trade secrets they don't want you to get out. I think I saw you one time. You said you worked for KFC.
Yep.
Well, you couldn't talk about the secret recipe.
No, I can't say nothing about that 10-10-10, man. I'm still sworn to secrecy, man.
Yeah.
I have to take this to my grave.
Exactly.